Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here, and this is Visualized NZ. Today I am going to work on Roxy's weekly challenge, week 2. I do believe the way that she's done this project is a little bit similar to how I ended up doing week 1's project, but it is different. So lots of fun. I've done one already just because I watched the video a couple of days ago. And so I just needed to make sure I had like kind of the instructions right and the process. Super happy with how my prototype turned out. So let's jump into it. Book pages. We are starting with book pages. Just a kind of a regular size is what I've gone with. One of these is slightly taller. I think it's about the same width. Oh, slightly wider. So, but pretty similar. So just book pages, you can do it with whatever size you like. I believe this is approximately the size that Rachel used. So first off, we are going to fold down one of the long edges. So if you haven't seen Rachel's video on making these, I do recommend you pop along and have a look. She is the inspiration for this, and she's running the challenge, and like her style is wonderful. So fold along the long edge, and then we fold it not quite in half, so you want a good, oh, what's that, 1/4 of an inch, maybe half an inch, I don't know. Let's do, I'm not measuring this generally. It's actually closer to 3/4 of an inch or 1 3/4 centimeters. Yeah, roughly, just to let you know that we're not folding it completely in half. We need that flap down the edge. Okay, and I have not folded the top there straight. That's okay. We can just straighten up the bottom here where it's not straight. And then this bit that we've got at the end, we're going to fold that over, not right up hard against the page that we've got there, but just leave a little bit of a gap like so. And then because I didn't fold the top straight, I'm just going to take a tiny sliver off the bottom to straighten up the bottom so it all looks straight. And with a lot of these book pages, the printing on it is not straight, so I've had very little success trying to line it up with the text. In general terms, not every book's like that, but a lot of these old books, they just didn't know how to print straight. Okay, so then we unfold those, and you've got 2 sections here. So this is the fold in the middle, and you've got this little square on the end, should I say. So we're going to cut out that little square on the end, just angling in towards where the creases meet. So see that? So you're not going straight along the creases, you're just going slightly out and into that corner. And then where this fold line is here, we're going to cut down again on an angle and take a little triangle out the middle there on either side of the whoops, that other bit's folding in on itself. Get out of the way. And just that wee triangle, plus a little bit extra because it got caught in my scissors. Easy peasy, isn't it? Just really simple. And then from there, I'm just going to do this one, and then I'll kind of do the next 2 in a little bit of a mess make kind of way, mini mess make, if that's not an oxymoron, which I guess it is. But so gluing down that top bit and this top bit, like so. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day today. Hope you're getting some crafty time. Okay, so that's it for now. And I think I am going to go ahead and do that same process on these 2. I do have a raggedy edge here, so maybe I might end up trimming these ones as well, even if I do end up folding it straight. You know, it is possible to fold straight. Every once in a while it actually works properly. This is a couple of pages from Gone with the Wind, if you can't see that. Okay, so long fold along one edge and then fold them not quite in half. So let's do this one as well. I'm paying a little bit more attention to try and get this long edge straight. Paper does tend to warp, so as you push along it's kind of bends around. And fold it into about there. Okay, so I'm just going to whip along the bottom of these as well, just to straighten that up and get rid of the raggedy edge. I don't mind raggedy edges on a lot of things, but on this I think I just want it straight. Has anyone already done this challenge? I imagine there's probably a few out there who've already done this, given that I'm a few days behind at least. I'm not actually sure what day it went up. Right, I need to fold this in, don't I? I haven't folded the ends in yet. Forgetting my process. Come on. Fold like I want you to. There we go. Sometimes you just got to give it a little talking to, make it conform to what you want. And there, that's not straight, doesn't matter. I'm fine with that. Right, so let's trim out our bits that we don't need. So the corner and our wee triangle. Okay, so I've just learnt something. It's better, so this is folding up this way, it's better to cut from this side rather than this side because it wants to bend under, and that's how I got the piece caught in my scissors. So folding from the side that's going up, and then it's not going to catch under your scissors. Here we go. I did not work that one out until now, and I've been crafting many a year, so I guess old dogs can learn new tricks. And actually I'm a firm believer in that you're never too old to learn new stuff. Never too old to learn. And even cats and dogs can learn even in their older years. Right, so let's glue these flaps down like so, nice and easy. It's quite thin paper this, so hopefully it holds up okay. By the time we're finished, it should be fine because it's going to have layers that are going to help support it. So I'm not expecting that it will be a problem, and if it is, we'll just deal with it and find a way around it. If it was just the book page on its own, I might kind of like double it over or something, do 2 layers of it, but I think for this project it should be okay. Okay, so we've got a piece with a reinforced top here where we folded it and glued it down, and it folds over here, and then we've got a flappy piece here. So what Rachel also did was she put kind of like a little gusset in this part where it closes, where these 2 bits glue together. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to cut, how many do I need? I need 3. So out of a different book page, I'm just going to cut 3 pieces, and they need to be folded in half, so make them wide enough that you can comfortably fold them. I'm just going 3/4 of an inch, an inch, something like that. and then they need to be, oh, it's almost the right height. I just want to get rid of that raggedy edge and we should be good. So it's probably about an inch, I guess, and we're going to fold this in half. I'm kind of rushing through this. I am going step by step, but it's the decorating I want to get to. You know, the fun part, the decorating. Okay, and from here we are going to give it a little. Now, which way am I going? Sometimes I confuse myself in which way the angle needs to go. Go in that way. I think that's right. Yeah. And that's going to glue on almost right on the edge, as close to the edge as practical without being right on it, if that makes sense. So the folded edge right against, almost right against that edge, like so. Okay, Rachel did this bit slightly differently to what I'm doing it. It's just a matter of preference and how you like to work. She glued it all together at the same time as gluing these on, but Rachel's not an inker, so she's not worried about inking it before she glues, and I typically do ink. And these, because they're neutral, I do like to ink, so I want to ink them before I've put them all together. Right, and our wee angle corners, and this just helps it not be visible. That's why we do those little snippy bits. So again, just gluing one half of it, line it up against this edge. Here we go, and number 3, this one's a wee bit shorter, so cut a bit more. Oh, not too bad actually, very close. Yeah, fold it in half. Very repetitive at this stage, but it's a good way to get it into your brain, isn't it? By repetition. Get it into my brain. Snip, snip, and last one. I think if I get these 3 done, I'll be pretty happy. And when I mean done, I mean like finished, completely finished. We may not get all 3 done. We shall see. We can only but try. Okay, so inking time. Since I like to ink, we do need to take a snippet out of the top as well. So let's go back to the first one and do that one first, because the glue will be the driest. So I'm just going to fold it up so it's all together and take not a huge chunk out, just a little thumb notch there. Just eyeballing the center ish. Right, and this one before I ink, otherwise I've just got to go back in and ink where I've taken the little semicircle out of. It's cold today. I'm wearing my hoodie here because I'm cold. I do believe it's warming up outside, but it's not reaching inside. It's been quite chilly. and I've got a little bit of a runny nose and a little slight scratch in my throat, and I've been sneezing a little bit, but I don't think I've got anything. Like, I don't think I've got a cold or anything. I just think it's the huge changes in temperature that we're seeing this summer. Like, we're going from 30 to 33 degrees on one end of the scale one day, and the next day we can be down at like 14. And like, that's a huge variance. This is Celsius, of course, that I'm talking about. And I think it's just those changes in temperature that are causing, you know, a little bit of a sinusy thing going on. And particularly the other night, we went to bed and it was really hot, so we had all the windows open. All the windows open and curtains open as well, and we only had a sheet on the bed because it was so hot. And then when we woke up in the morning, it was quite cold and it was raining. And so I think possibly, you know, we just got a little bit cool overnight, but didn't wake up fully enough. I mean, we both didn't sleep well, but I don't think we were waking up fully enough to realize that we were actually cold, and that if we had have, we might have slept better, because we could have closed the windows, closed the curtains, and snuggled up and, you know, slept better. But anyway, such is life. Can't worry about what could have been. It is what it is. So I'm sure we're both fine. We're just, you know, it's that changeable weather. They promised us a hot summer, and we have had some stunning hot days, been absolutely beautiful, but nothing consistent. Like, consistent might be 3 days at the moment. If you get 3 good days in a row, that's about as consistent as we've had, and I'm afraid that's not good enough. It's really not. It's not like the summers I used to enjoy as a kid here, because I've lived in the same town all my life. Now I'm used to summer where it was just, once summer hit, it was just hot days from beginning to end. And even when a storm came through, it was just like hot and wet. Loved those days. I miss the summers of my youth. Just that were full on hot. Just hot and glorious. And, you know, yes, as a kid, of course, you spent lots of time either at the river or at the swimming pool or at the beach, or combination of all of those, as was what it was like for me, because all those things were very close. And my father did a stint of managing the Amberley pool, so they were my favourite days, because we got to go to the swimming pool for free and spend all day at the swimming pool while he was keeping an eye on everybody. So that was super fun. Right, so I've inked around all of those. Yep, just making sure I got my little divots done. Right, so time to glue together. I'm just going to use my tacky glue for this rather than the glue stick, just to minimize mess and make it a bit easier on myself. So we're going to glue along this little gussety flap bit that we added in, and this just gives a little bit extra room in the pocket, which is why Rachel added it, and I thought, yep, I can get down with doing that. It makes sense to me. And then just the bottom of the pocket's going to be flat. So fold it over and glue it down. So quite easy to make. I'm excited. We've almost constructed 3, and then we can decorate. Isn't that fun? So there we go. Thank you to everybody who answered my question about what my style is. I had some interesting feedback. I'm still really no clearer on myself, and I'm not, believe me, I'm not worried about, you know, naming a style or anything. I'm just curious because, yeah, I'm just honestly curious because I can't see in myself a style. And probably the closest one I would say would be Mari, who said it's eclectic. And I think she's probably right, because I get bored if I do the same thing all the time. So I jump around and try different things and have fun experimenting. So I think that plays itself out in being eclectic, because I love vintage, but not everything I do is vintage. So yeah, interesting. I just find it an interesting journey, trying to learn about myself and trying to work myself out. It's a tough job. Right. Okay, so we are now up to decorating. Isn't that fun? Actually, before we decorate, we need to attach a little bit of paper to this flap that we have here. So I have a piece of paper bag, which I'm going to, it's probably not enough to do all 3 of these, but we'll see how we get on. Actually, that one's got a grease spot on, so don't want to use that, but let's grab a new bit. Trim up this bag. Oh, there's a few grease spots. Obviously, I didn't do a good job when I was ripping out the bits to use. I missed some greasy bits. So, just mostly down this side it's got some grease, so let's get rid of that bit. Into the rubbish, because we don't need grease spots on our projects, do we? And let's just rip this bit off. It's a very crunchy paper bag, this one. I love it. Oh, it's not straight at all. That's okay. That's okay. We will deal with that. Okay. That. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I'm not worried in the slightest if it's not. I just want it to be kind of straight. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and put all these bits of paper on our 3. Goes on that bit. Better glue it onto the right side. So again, tacky glue, I'm just going in and I'm gluing it onto the inside of that side flap. That paper is cracking, so I'm a bit concerned that it might come off. Oh, hang on. Gosh, that was tough. Sorry for disappearing. I was just grabbing some washi tape because I think that is in danger of just like tearing right across the fold line. So let's just pop on some neutral washi tape. And that will take care of that. This is very sticky, so I'm not stopping to add some glue stick to it. So really nice washi tape, this one, both in design and quality. It's really lovely. And I can't remember where I got it from either. I'll be very sad when I run out of it. Right, so that's going to no longer fall apart on us, which is good. Right, so I also want to put a bit of writing paper here. on this side. Let's just straighten that up a little bit. You can decorate it rather than do writing paper if you choose, but I like to maximize the writing, so I'm going to put writing paper. It's also easy, you know, easy to put some writing paper on, requires less thought. I'm going to bring that down a little bit because I don't want to go up over the thumb notch. Just make it a little bit shorter. Oh, didn't tear it straight. That's cool. There we go. Again, tacky glue is going to be my easy peasy solution. This has got a slight waxy finish on one side, and I found on my prototype when I just used the glue stick on it, the edges didn't want it to stick down properly, so I had to go in with this anyway and get it around the edges. So I'm just going to go in and just use the tacky glue. This bit of paper's not straight at all. Right. Right, there we go. There's that one. We're probably going to need to put washi tape also on this one. That's out of the same book. So let's do that now. Get that out the way. Don't want our things that we make and spend time making to fall apart, do we? Right, give that a crease. It's not wanting to stay down now in terms of the fold, but this little, it'll be fine once it's in a journal. Right, that will help. Okay. Oh, nothing. Is nothing straight? No, it's not. Oops. Do it the other way round, dear. It's a lot easier if you do it the other way round. Okay. We will be getting to decorating soon, I promise. Just gotta get these things done. Oops. Put glue, I think, where I don't really need it. Don't want to end up gluing it shut. If you end up gluing it shut, then it's just a different take on the project. It's not the end of the world. It's just not what we're trying to do. Not trying to glue it shut. Okay, there we go. So can we get enough out of that? I think we can go with that. It's not straight. It's not the right size, but it's good enough. Perfectly fine with all its wonkiness. So the weekend is coming up pretty quickly. Anyone got any plans for the weekend? We don't. We thought we did. Well, at this stage we don't. But last weekend when we picked up our car, we were told there were 2 keys. So when we got there, it was like, oh, and the second key. So I went and grabbed it, and fortunately we checked it, and the key was not for our car. It did not work our car. It worked for a different car, and it had been labelled wrong. And he went and he was hunting around and trying to find the second key for our car, and he's like, oh, well, we told you there was one, but there's not. So he said we could arrange for the guy who makes the keys, you know, because it's all computerized and everything has to be programmed, could be there next Saturday morning if we could come back with the car. So it was like, yeah, that's fine, we can do that. And then fortunately we hadn't left town. We'd gone to my mum's after we picked up the car, and we got a phone call and they'd actually found the second key. So we just had to go back to the car yard that same day, and we took my mum and stepdad for a ride in our new car and took them to the car yard and picked up the second key, which is my key. So that's all good. Right, we need a bit more paper. So this torn bit will be more than enough. So yeah, that we almost had to go in next, or this Saturday, I should say. But yeah, we don't. So I don't know what we're going to be doing. Distracted by glue bits on my finger. I guess the world is our oyster, what we choose to get up to instead. Who knows? I take over grocery shopping this week from my husband. I haven't grocery shopped for years because of the pain and everything I was in, and this week I finally get to take that job back, and I am super excited, but also nervous because I haven't done it. And so hubby knows the different products and where's the cheapest place to get that particular product and how much we use of that particular product, and I feel like I've never done it before, which is weird because I used to do all the shopping for the house, but it's just been so long. I'm like, oh, well, how much milk do we go through in a fortnight? Because we do fortnightly shops. How much of this do we use? What brand of this do we use? It's like, so poor hubby's probably going to have lots of messages while I'm out and about. It's like, oh, is this a good price? Is this the one you get? I'm probably overthinking it. It'll probably be fine. But just, yeah, I'm excited but nervous. Please excuse me, just that cold weather. Oh, my cup of tea is cold. It's a bit, edge is a bit curly, so I'm going to try and avoid that curly edge, just because it probably won't glue down very well. Hopefully I'm not taking too long doing this, because I really want to get to the decorating. The fun bit, I mean, this is all fun, but you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. The creative bit where we're actually making decisions on style and look. All right, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle of the glue. Right, done. We've got all our little flaps attached. So 2 of these go that way and 1 of them goes the other way, which is another thing you can do to vary it. You can vary the direction that it opens. Okay, decorating. We are up to decorating. Woohoo! Oh yeah, we're not too bad on time. About halfway through and we've got all our bases made. So for decorating, I have some digitals here from Pastor's Wife Digiprints on Etsy. Cabinet cards, vintage cabinet cards that I've had for a few months, hadn't even printed them off. So I've printed a couple of pages off. I didn't think we needed to print them all off right now, so I just printed a couple of pages, and I thought, why not use these to decorate up our bits here? So I really like this lovely lady sitting in the armchair, or perhaps not an armchair, it's got no arms. Tell me, is it still called an armchair if the chair doesn't have arms? There's your deep question for the day. What do you reckon? Do we still call it an armchair? Or is it more like a lounge chair or some other such term? I don't know. I've never thought about it before. Right, so I'm going to cut this one out. And we're going to do some funky things with it to make it fun. Not that it's not already fun, but, you know, make it more interesting. Get rid of my scraps out the way. Okay, which one do we want it on? I think maybe this one, the smaller of the, yep, the smaller of the three. Right, so we've got this lovely piece. I'm going to give it a more distressed look. I'm going to tear, and also it's too tall, so we need to take some height off. And I'm going to also take a piece out the side here. Like so. Ah, isn't that fun? Love that. Actually, I could keep that bigger piece, put it in a collage. Right, ink around the edges. I did this with my prototype, and I thought I really like that. Kind of makes it look even older and like it's been round the block a few times. Okay, so we're going to go something like that. Okay, and I want to use labels. So lately I've been using the labels from Days Gone By is the name of the kit, volume 2 from the Junk Journal Studio. And I've used circle ones and I've used the larger ones, and this time I want to use the smallest ones. We can pop one in there. And then I'm also using my vertical words from my kit on Etsy to kind of just give something else. Actually, do I want a larger or a longer word? I picked out some shorter ones, but I think this actually needs a longer option. Let me just try and find one that I like for this. Enchanting. Okay, yep, that looks good to me. So let's ink around these as well. So I'll decorate one by one, so that at least if I run out of time, I'm not like, none of them are fully fledged and finished if I try and do them all together. So yes, excited to do the grocery shopping. Also nervous because I do get very sore still when I'm walking around a lot. Just because I need a screw removed in my knee. And if I start limping because of the pain from the screw, then my opposite knee doesn't like it. And then that gives out on me. And it's just all a bit of a drama, really. And I'm just like, it's way better than what it was, but like I would really have hoped to have been pain-free by now. It will happen. Just got to hold in there. If you're not aware, I had ankle surgery last year, and I'm now in a position where one of the screws is creating an issue and needs to come out, and I'm waiting for that to be done. So I had the last surgeon appointment in kind of mid-December, before Christmas, so obviously nothing was going to happen before Christmas, and yeah, I don't know when they're sort of back on deck post-Christmas. I've just got to wait, and I'll get a letter at some point, or either that or I'll get a phone call saying, can you come in on Friday? That my surgeon does surgeries on Friday, so it's quite possibly going to be a Friday. So I don't know whether I'll get a phone call, whether I'll just get a letter with an appointment. Don't know. We shall see. But certainly I'm not like hanging on the phone or watching the letterbox, because it might not be for months. Don't know. So it'd be really nice to get fully through all of that. Not looking forward to another surgery, but needs to be done. Right, that's fun. Now I did something with my prototype and I completely forgot to do it on this one, so maybe we'll do it on the next one. I'm looking for my stamp, so I'm also going to stamp a little bit of scripty text, making sure it's up the right way. It's very hard to tell with a stamp what's up the right way and what's not. And I'm just using coffee coloured ink from Ranger just to add a little something. And that one is done. Cool. Right, on to the next one. What cabinet card do we want on this one? Really like this lovely lady. She's wearing a heart-shaped locket around her neck, which is cute. She looks like she's got beautiful, stunning skin. I find it very hard to tell what age people are in these types of photos. I don't know. I really don't know how old she would be. Right, so we've cut it out, so now we're going to take some bites out of it. One there, and okay, so the black and white photos are a little bit different. So I'm going to do something to bring in a bit more of that vintage aged brown tone. So start with inking around it first. And then I like to go in and just kind of brush. So avoiding the faces. I don't like to do this over the faces, but just hitting some of the lighter spots and bringing in some of that brown tone. Not everywhere, just like it's a bit stained in places. So if you did it over the whole thing, it would start to just kind of look all the same. So I'm just kind of getting spots, and then some spots I'll go in a bit darker. There we go. Right, now let's do what I forgot to do on the last one. And for this we need some white thin paper. So this is the back of a napkin. You could use this, you could use tissue paper. whatever you have to hand or would like to use. So I'm just going to tear a random little bit off, and I'm going to lay it down on my paper here, and I'm going to rub over it with my brush with the vintage photo, and I possibly glued it to this page now. I might have to go with it. No, we're going to get enough of it up. It did stick, but we didn't lose too much. Okay, and I'm kind of going to scrunch up some of it on one edge, kind of, and bunch it up and then sort of flatten it out. And then we're going to have it peeking out from under the photo, just as a little detail. So we've done that bit, and I want a little bit out of that other area as well. So just a smaller piece for there, and change my glue page so I don't end up losing my tissue. I think I'll need to re-ink my brush a little bit. I don't want heaps of ink, I just want to take off that white and give it a bit of age. You could also use like brown pattern paper for this, and then you wouldn't need to ink it at all. It might be a bit big actually for what we need. Just kind of scrunching it up. It doesn't need to cover the extend the whole way from the bit that you've torn out of your image if you're tearing out. Just a little accent, and from there, once I've worked out where I want it, just go and hit some of it with glue, kind of stick it to the back of the the image. And you can manipulate it quite a lot, smush it around until it's where you want it. And I don't mind if it overhangs a little bit, and then we can glue that down. Gives it a little bit of bumpiness, but that's okay. If you don't like the bumpiness, you can take some of the layers away once you've scrunched it up and glued it on. But I'm not concerned because it flattens down fairly well, depending what sort of paper I guess you're using. There, and then I come in and I glue these bits down as well. So I do everything in kind of stages just so it gets where I want it to. And then you can further scrunch it up. If it's sticking out too far, you can fold it back on itself and glue it to itself. Give it a bit more flatten down if you want. That's why I like using this type of stuff, because it's quite malleable. Once you put a bit of glue on it, you kind of just press it where you want it. You make all sorts of fun ridges and things. And then if you're still not happy with how it looks, you can add a bit more ink to the raised ridges to bring them out a bit more. Add a bit more dirt, so to speak. Like that. And then you can add some into the book page as well if you want to just kind of bring it all together. Don't think there's much ink left on my brush, but here we go. Okay, so again I want to go in with a label. This time I might go over top because I've already glued it down. I quite like that up there. Maybe we need... don't know if the word actually works on this particular composition. We perhaps could put it there, would be about the only place. Okay, let's go with that. Grab some ink. Gosh, I must have done too much talking today. My throat is getting quite sort of grainy. I need to drink some more of my cold cup of tea, don't I? Oh gosh, and it's past my snack time. My goodness, this day is going fast. But it's been a good day. I've got quite a bit done today. This is my second video I'm recording, which is pretty good. I'm trying a different schedule this year, trying to be a bit more organised. Don't know how it's going to work, but we can only try. Because I'm going to be out all day Friday, so I need to make sure I get everything done that I want and need to get done. And have no stress when I'm out and about thinking, oh, I haven't done this, oh dear. So need to be organised. So there's number 2. Right, final one. How are we going on time? Have we got time? Ooh, we're running a bit close on time. Perhaps we might not get this one finished. Let's just go with this one. She looks very, what's the word? Pensive. Or bored. Maybe bored's a better word. She might be bored. She's like, would you hurry up and take the photo already? It's hard to imagine, isn't it, that back in those days when they took photos, you had to sit very, very still or stand, whatever pose you're in, and that you couldn't smile because you couldn't hold the smile for the length of time that was needed for the photo to expose. So I think it was like a minute or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it'd be super hard to hold a smile for so long. So that's why they don't smile typically in photos, because it was just, you couldn't hold that look for that long. Right, and do a bit at the bottom. And let's, for fun, take a bit out of here as well. So taking 3 little chunks. All the rest I've done 2, so we'll just mix it up and do 3 on this one. So I'm not going to do the tissue on this one just for time's sake. Also, it means I've got 2 with the tissue and 2, or napkin, backing of a napkin, 2 with and 2 without. So that's, I'm happy with that. Gives a slightly different effect. Okay, so this time I'll remember to do the label. List of illustrations. I like poking it in behind. But do I want it over top this time? Or do I want a round one? Kind of like that one there actually. Round one. I don't think happy is the appropriate word. She doesn't look happy. She doesn't look free, so freedom might not be the right one. Does she look humble? Authentic? Honest? Strong? She might be strong. Okay, so I'm actually going to put this image down first. Because that's the way I like the composition on this one. That's how it worked out. I think we're going to get this one done as well, people. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, cut these 2 wee pieces. Cover over where I've left some of the white around the edge. And strength. We can give her that quality whether she has it or not. You're going to say she's a strong lady. Strength of character, strength of morals. My fingers are terribly dirty between the glue and the ink. Right, let's put the label up the right way would be good. Beautiful little graphic label there. And our word. So you could decorate these with anything. Rachel did ephemera on hers. You could use images from a book, digitals, whatever you have, whatever you like. I'm adding words. I don't remember Rachel using words, but she may have. I just don't remember. Yeah, so there we go. We have finished all 3. Woohoo! And the idea with these is that you can glue them down to a page. So this flappy bit, you could glue that down to a page, and then it opens out for writing space or more decoration if you choose to decorate it instead. And then it's got the pocket. Or it can be a pocket with writing space that you tuck inside a tuck spot or a pocket. So a pocket inside a pocket. Or you could clip it to a page. You could put it in a belly band if it was a a large book page, and a larger one you could stick it in a belly band, or a small maybe horizontal belly band you could pop them in. So use them however. So these are the ones we made. Let's have a look. So there's this one. This is the one I added the tissue to, and this is the last one that we did. And then this one, the lovely pocket. And then the prototype I did is this one, which I just love this image. And you can see there I dirtied up. Actually, I didn't do the stamping, did I, on these 2? Let's do that just to finish it off. And I need to go in with some ink on this one. I wasn't finished. I wasn't. Terrible. I mean, it's not necessary. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but I just given it quite a dark smudge there. Which is fine. Won't take long to do this. So goodness, how could I forget? Don't know if it's going to show up this well on this image because of the background. Oh no, it does. Well, that's cool. It's quite dark, but it does show, so that's cool. This one, oops, that was crooked. She actually looks like she might be quite scholarly, and I stamped on her arm. Oh well, it's on there now. It's just an early form of tattoo, removable. Well, actually not removable, but so as I was saying, this is the prototype that I made before I set the camera to recording. So little label, and under here a word here, stamping, dirtied up the background a bit, and then the torn look. Super cute, super fun. I love those, and I love using those images. I think they look really cool. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project. hope you give it a go because it's lots of fun. And head along to Rachel's channel and watch her original video because she just, yeah, she has a magic touch with beautiful vintage ephemera. Take care, everybody, and I'll be back for a Friday video tomorrow. See you then. Bye.